right now for the first time and you've never been here before, I'm pissed off because I can't figure out how the hell I'm doing stuff. I'm hoping my sound actually works, which I'm going to check that because I've had so many issues with my sound. I had a problem with my video minutes ago, and it is one of those things where I just freaking hate it and I want to cancel. All right. So, yes, it is one of those things where I'm not necessarily a technological person. I don't think I'm an idiot, but at the same time, it's like every time I try to do anything, it is crap. And until I learn, and then once I learn and once I figure out something about how it works, everything changes. Like they're like, "Oh, okay, good, we're all done with this," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, no, 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 no. I need this. I need this to stay the way it is." So that is where my world is at the moment. Um, Someone had said, "Hey, you should try out, different material, different things, different programs, Restream, Livestream, Riverside, Zoom." And I am just curious what in the heck I'm doing. Let's put it that way. So I was hoping to get a few people on here tonight to educate me about how you actually find me, because it's amazing, I think, that the longer I've been doing these lives, for the time that I've been doing it, people start watching and paying attention. I'm having great conversation and meeting people from all around the world. It's really cool. We're doing all this stuff. And I go and I'm like, well, geez, I'm going to return the favor. I'm going to go in here and look at a bunch of things and I'm going to try and find lives. And then I realize there's no one like me out here doing this. And good or bad, whatever you want to call it on that, it's kind of like, what happens? So I've been trying to find stuff to watch and do, kind of a way that I can look at other stuff happening and then, of course, just either copy it or improve on it, whatever I can think to do it. But it's like one of those things where you got just guys just sitting there hanging out. Here I am trying to get this big old giant thing going and try and get people entertained and stuff. And then these guys are just BSing about nothing. And I mean, not to throw shade, but it's like not even interesting. And I'm kind of mad about that whole situation as far as, I work so hard to put something together and it's like nothing. And then, like I said, other people are just doing it. So we'll wait a couple more minutes to get a couple more people on here. We usually have average about 15, 20 people on here, and the conversation just rolls. So it's a lot of fun. But my overall question for those people that are jumping on right now, how did you find me? Like, what are you looking at? Obviously, you're on YouTube. You've went to the live chat, the live section. This is all podcast news, monetization live. How did you find me through there? And of course, why did you do that? So not cool. Why did you do that? Yeah, that's my question. How did you find me? Not a bot chat, GPT. No, I cannot dance, nor do I want to. So I'm back to my question. It's like, hey, you guys are popping on now. Why? What made you jump out? Obviously, it wasn't my thumbnail. I just did that. Obviously, it wasn't my picture because that's not going to happen. So, and I'm looking at it too. I only have like 20 things that are going on right now. So, I'm just curious. I'm curious. Why did you click on this thing? That's what I'm looking to do. This algorithm that YouTube puts together is absolutely just freaking fun. It's a phenomenal to a magical standpoint of how it plays out. But at the same time, it just drives you crazy if you actually try and figure it out. And I've been trying, we had this channel since March, been putting this together, and it's like top of things. And I learn one more thing, I learn another thing, and I just keep going through it. But I'm like, where does it stop? When is that point where you actually get better at one thing and do it? So scrolling live feeds on shorts. Okay, so live, thanks you, not a bot. So scrolling live feeds on shorts. Okay, that's helpful. So you're actually in the shorts per se, because again, YouTube is such a vast thing, and I'm just like, man, I don't know. Oh, I see it now. Okay, and you pick shorts because that's the one that's it's vertical, not horizontal, which is different. So you're on shorts, and you're saying live. That's helpful. I appreciate it. So not cool. Yep, beep, whatever. Anyway, non-automated response. Okay. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those points where I just need to figure this stuff out because I just don't get it, to be honest with you. So, if you do you have a new something I could watch, some other channel that you guys have that goes over all these details? Because it's one of those things where I get so frustrated putting stuff together, but that's it. Hey, Clayton D. Bigsby, thanks for jumping on. You're the same thing, huh? You don't get it, and it's annoying to me actually, because you look at it. And I keep reading all the YouTube things about how things are changing. And of course, that was 6 months ago. Then it's changing, but that was 3 months ago. I did one for like the end of the year. And it was like, hey, I need to figure this stuff out and go forward with it. And I don't know. Anyway, so it's a big old mess. Yeah, no kidding. I'm kidding. Again, if you're here a minute ago, it's kind of like one of those things. I think I got it. I start to understand it, and then it changes. And then it's like, oh, look, YouTube is going to start, pushing shorts now. So I got to start doing more shorts. And oh, they love live presentations. Okay, so I got to do more lives. I don't know. I wish there was one easy way to do it that wasn't like a slow whole, like drag out. This is what we're going to learn today. We're going to talk about this, and it's like, shut up. Just tell me what I want to know and move forward. But that's the kind of stuff that I try and put out there. But I wish others that kind of had it and all of that. So, magnet fishing, is it Mama 9653? Just browsing, never tried live yet. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, live it's a fun, interesting. Okay. So off my little soapbox of questions and things like that. But I've been doing live now for about 10 weeks, and I go on there. Maybe it's like 3 or 4 times a week, and meeting people, talking to people from all around the world, learning so much about just all kinds of different cultures and things, and how America. We're in America here, and how things are viewed across the world about Americans, about our country, about what's happening. We think it's a big deal, but yet other people in other countries don't even know what we're talking about when we're this. We had a long conversation about football, which is hilarious because I was talking about football, and which I was thinking, Tom Brady and the Patriots, and we're talking about the NFL, and another guy's talking about Ronaldo and Messi, and I'm like, all right, I don't know who you're talking about, and then we all had a good laugh about that one. You into cinema? Yes, I am. If you want to talk about that, no problem. We can definitely talk about cinema. I got a few things obviously behind me. I try and move all my books and things around every now and then just to keep it kind of going. But yeah, ask me any questions about movies. That'd be fantastic. And let me know where you guys are from too as you check in too. I was quite curious. So don't give me exact locations. Just tell me areas, states, countries, wherever it is. Still got to figure that out though. And again, why? So you're talking about you're on shorts and you're just browsing through people talking on here. But see, I'm going through my shorts and there's nothing on here that's like me talking like that. So I don't know. Indiana. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for checking for Indiana. Wait, Indiana. Do you have is that Metropolis? No, no, never mind. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I was in Indiana not too long ago. I think I just passing through though. I was thinking why. I was coming back from Sturgis. It wasn't a motorcycle run, but I happened to be there for something else, and I was driving back through Indianapolis. Indianapolis, that's cool. Yep. Yeah, I went to Lucas Oil Field one time. That was hilarious, man. Where the Colts play, and I tell you, it's a great area, and all your traffic, all the interstate going around is like a perfect, easy area to get to. So I go in there because we were passing through. We were driving up to Wisconsin at that time. I go to Lucas Oil Field, right? We park right outside the thing. It's like probably like a Tuesday afternoon. I parked right outside, right next to the Peyton Manning statue right there in the front. And then we walk in and we're in the gift store and we're kind of looking around and stuff. And then this one dude, another guy, totally unrelated to me, there's a door open in the back of the gift shop. And we're kind of walking, this other dude and we kind of look at the thing and we're realizing that that's the concourse for the Lucas Oil thing rotunda around the top there. And we're like, okay, we look at each other and we're kind of just like looking around. We're doing the whole like rubbernecking thing around. And this one worker dude who's walking by, he goes, you guys can come in if you want to. And me and this other guy look at each other and we're like, really, we can come in, really? So we went in there for about 20 minutes. We just walked around. It was just him and me. I don't even know, never met the guy's name, or never got his name, never met him. We literally just walked around Lucas Oil Field, went and sat in the stands together. We had this male bonding moment. And then when we were done, we just got back to our wives and just left. It was the most funniest thing in the world. And but that was a great stadium. Um, Clayton, until they get daddies, the government will continue to be the daddy. Yeah, I think I missed something, how I got onto that one, but all right. Clayton, I agree with you. We're talking about, yeah, and that is the problem too, and what is the motivation to get people off of government subsidies, really? I mean, until we find all the fraud going on, that's kind of where we're at right there. So the shorts you scroll on, every once in a while, a live short will come up. If you join it, then start to scroll. All the videos will be shorts. Oh, is that right? Okay, so all the videos will be shorts. Yeah, I'm trying to do it like as I'm talking, but I'm trying to, I don't know, entertain you, whatever, a lot of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Um, it is just a masterful beast at this point. But the the Alan Bakbar, yeah. Um, we had a big discussion, Clayton, the other night about that, and we had a couple guys. One guy was from Yemen. One other guy, he was from Germany, but he was Muslim. And we were talking about how Muslims are taking over like Paris and Germany, the German markets, the Christmas markets, and how they were doing it. And he tried to tell me, he's like, hey, no, we're peaceful and we're all this. And I said, you're peaceful. And then we started talking about integration and assimilation. And he's like, yeah, no, everything's fine. Everything's cool. And I started talking to him like, so tell me about what's happening in Nigeria with all the Christians being, murdered and the kidnapped kids and all that stuff. And he's like, well, Nigeria is mostly Christian anyway. And I looked it up real time and I'm like, no, it's not. It's 50-50. And then we started talking about the bombings and 9/11 and I'm trying to think all the other stuff that was just ridiculous happening around the world. And finally he was like, yeah, okay, well, I can see this isn't going anywhere. And then he was gone. And I'm like, well, there you go, dude. Like, you can't say all that stuff. And yeah. So anyway, Clayton, I didn't want to get into all that tonight, but if you want to, we're more than happy to do. You're probably in the right channel. So definitely like and subscribe. You'll see some other stuff going on. Please watch the videos too. I put a lot of effort into those. They were Christian before it came to Europe. They were Christian before it came to Europe. Look at Minnesota or London. Oh, London. Yeah, London was the other big one we talked about. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Minnesota. God, that is a flashpoint at this point of what's happening in the world. And it's, we went over details about that, whether the lady ran over the ICE officer, which she did. I'd heard that Jacob Frey, the mayor of Minneapolis, actually admitted that was happening too. So I don't know. QDBR, Carby, hey, welcome back. Shout out to Nick Rowe, Nick Rowe from Minnesota. All right, QDBRBR, you've been on here a couple days now. Make sure you're on your best behavior. We are buds from last night. You were on last night. So anyway, we were just talking probably about what we talked about going up in Minneapolis yesterday. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, you meet Clayton up there. He's on there talking as well. Tell him he'd be welcomed on this channel. Let's put it that way. But but as we head towards 15 minutes, please like and subscribe. That'd be fantastic if you did that. I would probably really love helping the channel. We should send them blacks to El Salvador and keep the hardworking Latinos. Well, I don't know. That'd be, yeah, you're towing the line there, Clayton. But yeah, why El Salvador too? What? I'm just curious why. Of all things, I mean, well, why don't we want people to go down to Venezuela and rebuild that, or heck, we're going to rebuild Iran too, for that matter. I mean, what's going to happen with that? If you guys are following that, just for all disclosure, I'm more of a USA kind of America first guy. I'm not an international guy, but of course the conversation goes to that stuff too. So it is one of those things where, God, Iran, there's, I think 540 people, which I'm sure it's more than that by now at this moment, but 540 people have been killed by the government. Thousands are in jail, probably more likely going to be taken. And it's a sad situation. But here we are talking about one lady in Minneapolis that decided to leave her kids because she wanted to run over law enforcement. So we got one person in Minneapolis that got killed because of her own actions, but we got, almost thousands of people in Iran that are being gunned down in the street by their own government, and Trump's still the dictator. So figure that one out for me. That's the interesting thing. That you want to talk about something, talk about that. Just the number of people going forward. But put it in the chat. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know. Let me know what you think about that, and try and figure that one out. But that's where I'm at with the whole discussion, because you got, so much fraud, so many things going on in Minneapolis, from the Leering Center, from the autism centers, that are absolutely fraudulent. And I'm waiting for the AG, Keith Ellison, to go down from Minnesota. I'm excited to see him finally get ripped up in this thing too, because I was reading earlier about some tapes that were revealed about him helping the people that were defrauding the government. And you just can't deny that stuff. And that's the craziness of it. So we had that big roundabout discussion, is all this ICE agent stuff is simply just going to be distractions for all the fraud that's going on. So not a bot. What is Trump's favorite computer file? All right. What is Trump's favorite computer file? All right. Tell me. PDF. Okay. Yeah, I would like to very much disagree. Considering if you ask that about Joe Biden, about him sniffing people and taking showers with his granddaughter, then that'd be one thing. We could talk about that. But yeah, that's one thing you don't hear about anymore is Epstein. You don't hear about him. You don't hear about the list anymore. Now it's all ICE, and because Trump did exactly what he said he was, and he said he's not in them, and he wasn't. And then you find out all these superstars and rock stars and pop stars and Michael Jackson and Mick Jagger and all these guys are in these files and pictures and everything. And it's like, oops, sorry, guys. I mean, I'd feel bad if I was like a friend of Jeffrey Epstein and I went there for all the right reasons, and it was just I was invited, and then I'm getting wrapped up in this whole thing and they got pictures of me. I'd feel pretty stupid at that point. But so, I mean, it's just one of those things. Anyway, he probably chased everybody out here, not the bot. So, but I do want to figure this out though, because I just don't. I mean, I can look at live pokers. I can look at live. Jesse Waters is on. Matt Morse, whoever that is talking. He's live, but he's not answering questions on the chat. He's just got his own video he's talking about. Flashpoint is a bunch of talking heads. Obviously, they're probably on TV. Yeah, there's just a lot of things. I mean, I figure I'm the only guy that's actually talking to you, and I want to have a conversation. Go up, I'm explained it. No, I mean, I got it. I read what you said, but at the same time, my point is, there anybody else? Maybe I just haven't gotten there yet. Maybe I just have, but is there anybody else just taking comments and having a conversation between you typing and me talking? That's my question. And I haven't seen it. I've been scrolling. Don't feed the trolls. Yeah. So I'm kind of just going through it, like trying to figure out. I just want to have a conversation and learn stuff. That's my biggest thing. And I don't know. Do any of you guys have your own channels? If you do, let me know. Advertise. Put it out there. Because I'm curious. Because I've talked to a few people that had their own channels, and we've actually become pretty decent, be reading all their stuff and figuring all their things out. And it's pretty cool. Let's just put it that way. But no. Have you ever thought about it? You ever thought about doing it yourself? Because I tell you, I would say it's rewarding, but man, I tell you, there's some nights I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, ooh, I have to get this on tape. And then by the morning time, I forget what it is and I totally lose it. And I just don't. And then why does that happen? See, I don't like that. I'm trying to still go through it. No, a lot of crap out there. Saw one where a guy just read the chat. Okay, that's funny. That's funny, man. That's good. Here I am bragging about how great it is to read the chat, and you're making fun of me. That's cool. You know, I'll take it. That's fine. It makes me laugh out loud. That's good stuff. That's good. But thinking more religious debate. I mean, yeah, I'm not a huge religious guy overall. I mean, I go to church, pray, I do all that stuff. I'm just not I can't quote the Bible. I can't tell you what's right or wrong. I can't tell you what happened, but hey, if you want to bless me or bless the audience, you go right ahead. Cause that's fine. I'll kick you out later. But anyway, no, but damn, this whole thing, just trying to figure this out. So I don't know. I don't know. Plenty of lives. I'm on the shorts, like you guys said, but that is just it's not up there. I'm reading about bodybuilders muscling up, getting there. It's just, I mean, yeah, I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. I need to sit down with somebody that actually figures all this stuff out, who has time to learn about it and can do it all. But that ain't me. That ain't right now anyway. So anyway, give me another topic. You got anything else going on? There's so much happening right now. I was looking at, see if you guys are interested in this too. The country Qatar, right by Iran. I just found out the other day. I really wasn't talking about you or search speed reading chat. No, Qatar has a base in Idaho. I just figured that out. I got tipped off on that one, but it's not an actual military base. I'm going to do kind of a report on that. If you guys are interested in reading or watching the videos that I put out there, I do a lot of interviews, but I also talk about kind of the current events and things that are kind of getting swept under the rug. I try and keep it light with a few of them, but also give you the information you can walk away knowing that you heard something different. So please do that. I'm trying to march up to 3,000 watch hours. I finally hit 500 subscribers basically at the beginning of this year. And by the way, we're over 20 minutes now. If you can guys like and subscribe, that'd be cool. Really like it. Would be awesome. Get more people on here. But some of the videos I did is basically some came off the questions of things I talked about with people on this thing. One was like pledging the United States flag. Why do we pledge the flag? Someone asked me that. And I thought that was a stupid question. And then I actually looked into it and I'm like, wait a minute, pledging the flag, that's actually like a real interesting subject. So I did a whole video on that one. It's only 8 minutes long. I mean, nothing really is really terribly long on these things, just only because my attention span is under 10 minutes. So I watch them quick on there. And then we did America's Challenge in Farming. We had that long conversation. We even talked about birthing robots. If you guys haven't checked out what's happening in Japan with birthing robots, that is some AI craziness going on there. Yeah, por favor, bring. Yes, I do read the books in the back. Actually, 100%. 100%. There's actually a second row right behind it too. Is it cricket? All right, fine. Anyway, welcome to the chat. Yeah, I do read a lot. It's one of those I've just always have. Let's put it that way, and that's years. I mean, I'll be 48 this month, but I've always just had 3 books running and just did that. I hate 5 o'clock shadow. You hate it. That's not even 5 o'clock shadow. That's like, it's a ways in there. So My Robot, My Choice. You should actually watch that video. That'd be pretty hilarious. Because that's a lot of it is kind of about that as well. But anyway, something to talk about going forward on that one. But you hate the 5 o'clock shower. The problem, you guys understand why a lot of men, including myself, have this, right? If I was gray and I'd dye it, yeah, well, hey, I want to look older. But because my chin's falling too. If you want to talk about that, that's why I have the goatee and the beard, because basically my neckline's following. So you got to put that on there so you know the difference on that. So I don't know who you are, if you're anything else, but that's kind of the thing. And the gray, man, you know how hard it is to stencil this gray in and color it? That's really hard. I got a big red beard. I used to anyway. And so when I went gray, I just had to, continue going for it. It makes it look good. So anyway, the ladies like it. I'm not sure what you want. You got to have a neck to have a neckline. Yeah. Well, I used to be something, I'll tell you that right now, but it sucks getting old. I'll be honest with you on that one. So no debate there. But hey, you guys, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. It already went up, so that's cool. Appreciate you guys doing that. Yeah, like I said, I have a goal to hit that for 1,000 later this year. I started a YouTube channel a few months ago, really scrolling through live shorts to do research on stuff. Yeah. What kind of stuff you researching though? What are you looking at? Like, what's your interest? I mean, I don't know if you're a student or studying for something, but you can learn a lot out there. You just gotta be careful what you're looking at. I try and bring all sides. I mean, this channel is called Truth Between Lines because I try and bring just all the things. I'm not the first like, "Oh, hey, this just happened. I'm going to tell you about it." No, this is more of the, all right, this happened. Let's take a step back, look at it, trying to figure out what actually is the fallout for it. Look at the A, B, and C and just say, all right, this is what's happening. But anyway, you only watch CNN for facts. It's funny. Them and CBS, I think they're trying to make a comeback and try and get their audience back to people that are actually like bringing in more factual information than opinion shows and stuff like that. I was surprised. I was surprised when Fox cleared out their people, when Tucker left and a few of the other hosts left. And then, but CNN, they lost what? Was Joy Reid on CNN? I think she was. And then Rachel Maddow lost her show. And then the guy too, Don Lemon, he lost his show. And it's interesting. So you see the pendulum swing, it was like way over here. And then they started losing viewership and a whole bunch of other things. And you're right. People tune into mainstream networks to actually get facts, not opinions. You come nowadays, you come to the podcast or something to get opinions. But when they got away from that, it was just like, why am I watching this stuff? And people stopped watching. So that was the whole thing. So it is interesting to see. Of course, it'll be interesting to see too what happens in 3 years when President Trump is no longer in office. Are they going to be as entertaining without him around? And we kind of saw that with Biden, but at the same time, President Trump never left. He never left. Let's just put it that way, because he was always in the back. He always knew he'd run again, and he always knew that there was something happening with that one. But anyway, so it's definitely interesting. CNN for facts is a good joke. That's pretty good. But we'll see. We could be saying 6 months, and they could be completely different part of the network and do that one. But so. Anyway, what else is happening in your world? If you're still on here from Indiana, I'm just curious. There's not a whole lot you hear about Indiana very often, except for the Pacers. If they're still any good, is it Halliburton still around? But there's still a lot of stuff happening right now, all the place. You're in China right now. Are you like for real? They pay me good. It's por favor Brinca. So, what does Brinca mean? If that means something, 3479. And what are you doing in China? You want to talk about China? What do you think about Taiwan? What do you think? Jumps. Please jump. So your name is Por favor Brinca, which means please jump. Is that what really you got that from it? Interesting. All right. You think Taiwan's got oil? That's good. That's a pretty funny one, actually. Yeah. So not cool. What in rice? What do you mean in rice? As far as what? In China? But anyway, they pay you in rice. He's asking if you pay in rice. Oh, I get that. That's pretty funny. Yeah, could you imagine if Taiwan had oil? But no, what do you think? Is China, are you getting any rumblings there? Taiwan needs freedom or China needs freedom? Hey, it's Ethan. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, because it's one of those things. I'm supposed to go to Taiwan in July, and I'm curious to see if I can even do that. I'm going for this big conference road trip kind of deal. And I got the trip insurance because I wasn't sure, number one, if I'm gonna be able to even go to Taiwan. If they get invaded before that, what happens to my refund or at least my down payment and stuff like that. So I'm kind of curious how that plays out. So if you're in China for real, please jump. Let me know. Going to Chicago this weekend. What are you going to do in Chicago? Well, I don't even want to know what you're going to do in Chicago. I feel a joke coming on this one, but that's just me. Where are you from? It's Ethan though. Like where you're going to Chicago, but where are you leaving from? That's what I'm curious about. Let me get off this thing here. See. Yeah. Yeah. West Michigan. Okay, so you're not going far then. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I did a few, let me go back on here. I did a few shorts as well lately. A couple things came up. We were talking about some new laws that were going through New York and what was happening in New York City as far as the nurses strike. If you guys are following that, I think it's one of those first tests for Zohran Mamdani, whether or not what he's going to do with that. But right now he's out there marching and protesting with the actual nurses that are on strike. So I'm wondering if you have some kind of surgery or something else coming up, and then boom, you can't do it. Like, you can't have your surgery because the nurses are on strike. So I'm curious how that all plays out. And then, yeah, we did the whole one too. They just stopped a law where you cannot report child abuse or any other abuse for that matter anonymously. You actually have to leave your full information. So it's a whether or not you will call in and still report something going on if you know that you could be pulled into court someday down the road to contest or be a character witness for something later on. And then you really got to face your accusers and what you're going to do. So that's a new law that actually just Governor Hochul just signed last month, December 2025, and it's going to go in. They got 180 days for it to go into effect, but you can no longer do that. And I'm just wondering, you guys put it in the chat, if you saw some abuse, would you report it knowing that you'd have to give your full information and you could possibly go to court later on if it were to come out? What would you do on that one? But hey, we just approached 30 minutes. So please, if you're just joining me for the first time, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. It really helps out the channel a lot. I'm really trying to get this thing going and having some fun with it. So please take the moment to do that. But yeah, that's my question though. Would you report something knowing that you're going to have to possibly testify in court later on down the road and face the people that you're talking to? That's the most question on that one. And then we did a few other shorts as well, which actually did not do well. I was surprised. But in a district court in California announced that the teachers and anybody involved with the school district can no longer lie to the parents about how the kids want to be called or what gender they are, what their pronouns are. So they have to actually be truthful and actually tell the parents what's going on. And that's actually came through the district court. And I did a little short on that one. So it's pretty good information on that one. And yeah, then we talked about Minneapolis, a few other things I got going on. It just, oh boy. Yeah, and the reparations in California too. That's a decent law that you can't. Yeah, exactly. And that's the weird thing. They were trying to say continuation, the whole thing of you can lie to the parents. So even if you're, little Johnny really wants to be Josie and wear a dress at school, but can't do it at home, like the parents can ask the teachers, hey, what's going on at school? And they have to tell them the actual thing. So that's kind of the thing. Yeah. I don't even know if it was a law. I think it was more of an overturn, like a ordinance or something like that. Cause God, I did that last week? I already forgot. January 9th. What was yeah, that was last week, but yeah, there's so many things happening around this country to kind of get common sense back to the whole thing too. How often am I uploading the shorts? What time are you uploading them? So I do, honestly, I don't have anything that I do that's solid as far as timing goes. I try and do 1 or 2 a day, but there are like 1 or 2 days I won't do anything at all. And I was doing them probably like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And then realizing now that my things right now, I need to go in about noon or before noon so them to hit. So to your point, and thanks for actually doing it, but it's a big country. So many things are happening. Yeah, exactly, Ethan. So the one that I did 3 videos, it was January 8th and 9th. I did them in the evening. And then, but the other 2 I did yesterday in the afternoon. No, I'm sorry. I did those today. I did those today before noon. I got over 500 views for each one of them, which for me is decent. So I average, by the time it's probably done, it'll probably hit 700, 800, which is my normal average. But anyway, for 517 people that subscribe to the channel, I don't know. I'm holding my own with We Need World Christendom. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. I just want to see how that actually play out, because there's a lot of other religions that just, we don't talk about. They're just out there, but I don't know. I mean, even in the United States, we have so many different things. I know you said you're in China. Are you pushing Christianity in China? Por favor? Because I mean, I don't know if that's still allowed out there. But yeah, that's my thing though. So not about trying to put that through. You can't force though, because people would fight. Exactly. Yeah, I mean that it would lead to a monumental war. I mean, you got the Crusades and all that stuff too. So, one video every 3 days. Give them time to go through the algorithm before posting another. One every 3 days. Yeah, you make a good point. My other issue too, I think when I started this channel, I was too wide in my like the niche, and I know what niche is. I just didn't care because I just wanted to post content. I just want to get things up there, and I think that hurt me a lot. And yeah, yeah, but I was trying to do. I try to do about 3 or 4 videos a week, and including interviews, and then the shorts, 1 or 2 a day. So that's what I'm trying to do. And then live, I just kind of do it whenever I feel like it. But I do go live on Sunday nights between 6 and 7. So I do that one, and that's my big one on that one. Clay's Dirt Duster, hello, good to see you. Welcome to the chat. I appreciate you jumping on here, guys. We've been called to believe. We talk about religion. Okay, but we've been called to believe in Lord's finished work on the cross. True forgiveness is this, John 20:23, to choose to forgive. All right. Hey, Noxy Knox, welcome to the chat. Good. We've been running for about 35 minutes. If you guys are joining us for the first time, please like and subscribe. But yes, Clay's, we actually brought the religious question up a minute ago. I don't know if you're just tagging on and threw that up for the first time or what, but we're looking at that going forward. And so not a bot. To your question, though, yeah, we're trying to do three to 4 videos a week, 1 to 2 shorts a day, and a couple lives throughout the week. But obviously, it's just I'm falling off the whole thing. So. Oh, hey, Prosperity Lounge. Welcome. Welcome. It's good to see you. No, yes, I know you're laughing because I try not to miss anything, but yeah. Not a bot. Yeah, my niche is pretty much politics. We talk a lot about politics. I'm in Tennessee, but we talk about overall, what's happening in the country, in the USA, little bit outside of global, obviously, but we always try and do a little bit of America. And then we kind of go through interviews and that kind of thing as well. So the idea, again, if you missed it in the earlier thing, it's truth between lines. So I'm not the guy that's saying this just happened, here's breaking news. I'm the guy that said, all right, we all know that this happened. Let's look at the actual outcome. What's happening? Who said what? Who didn't say something? What's more important that we need to look at? And then we slow things down a little bit and say, all right, let's look at the truth because it's between lines. So really clever name on that one. So anyway, that's my whole thing. It's Ethan though. So yeah, it's like I said, another thing we try and do as well is bring back stories that may be falling off. People just stop talking about it, and you kind of go like, hey, whatever happened to that one thing? So it goes through the videos. We got a few of those, and you just never know. And I try to explain a lot of stuff too. We went through like things like the Overton window. We talked about the whiteness pandemic a couple of months ago, and then Trump fatigue. Trump fatigue was a big one. That was fun to do. All kinds of different just ideas and things that are happening. And then, try and do explanations as well. So I definitely encourage you guys to go back to the videos and watch those. Please do that. I do. I just need the watch time more than anything else and do it. Hey, Stuart, welcome back, Stuart. Man, you must be on YouTube every night. Stuart and Gorham always comes back on here. But abuse is objective. What one may consider abuse may not be to others. Parenting is variable. Now there are clearly abuse cases that we should step up and intervene in or report as such. Yes, you caught that part about the short that I did. Yeah, and I agree with you, but it's hard. But is everybody going to think about that way? That's kind of the thing. Is everybody going to think along the lines that you got, Stuart? I agree with you, but if you're going to have to go to court and just kind of inconvenience you down the road, is it worth that kid's life that's getting abused? Of course it is, but people are crazy on that one. But anyway, it's Ethan. Trump can't be president again, so who do you think will be next? Okay, yeah, good question. And then, por favor, what do you think about BlackRock, Vanguard Group, State Street owning all the companies in the world? Wow, good two back-to-back amazing questions. All right, so it's Ethan. I did a whole video. I did a guy named Tom Baselli. If you know who he is, he's actually Newsmax on Saturday mornings. You can watch him on that one. Him and I went through the whole thing, and it's kind of like, all right, the obvious, if you're a betting person, you put it on JD Vance. Okay. My thing about JD, he's young. He's actually younger than I am. And Clay's Dirt Duster, I agree. Rubio, I think, is a fantastic Secretary of State, probably the best that we've ever had. But thankfully, those guys are younger as opposed to, Biden and Trump being in their late 70s and 80s. Those are the easy answers. How young is he? I want to say he's 43. I want to say JD Vance age. 41. Shit, he's 41. God, he's 41. So JD Vance is born August 2nd, 1984. He's 41 years old. Say, again, I don't know how old you guys are, how the people in the chat here. I was doing some dumb stuff at 41. Hell, I'm still doing dumb stuff at 48. I have no idea what will happen when I'm 58. Maybe, hopefully, I make it to 68. I don't know. But that was my only hang up. I think Vance is an absolutely amazing person. All the good stuff. Actually, I got his bobblehead. Can you see it over here? Nope, you can't see it. There it is. That's his bobblehead right here. I got my Charlie Kirk in the back, by the way. But yeah, so there's that. And so it's one of those things where it's like, that's my hang up. So who else? Ron DeSantis, does he come in? And those are all the obvious names. I'm wondering if someone else random, some other business owner comes in that runs a company that's not a politician, decides to go in there, and people are satisfied and say, yeah, we don't want a politician, so let's vote for him. So can Trump be okay. Can Trump be Vance's vice president? That was kind of the funny thing. I think people were saying that, like, Trump would do that. He'd be vice president, and then JD Vance would just step down, and then Trump would get his third term. That was kind of the funny thing on that one. I do want to talk about BlackRock. I didn't forget that. Por favor, why would we vote for someone already in this administration that's crashing and burning? Well, por favor brinca, which means please jump. He says he's in China, so obviously he's not aware of what's happening in the United States and pretty much how our economy is soaring at this point, the stock market, and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you want to believe all the things that are happening around about ICE, you're clearly being distracted about what's going on and all the fraud and other things that's being uncovered. And I just hope people start going to prison, because other than being deported, there's a lot of people out there that absolutely have to be going away to jail or prison on that one. So, all right, so I'll play along here, por favor. The money is too good to fix any issues. Foreign money would stop if Ron did anything against. The money would do too good to fix any issues. Foreign money would stop. Are you supposed to say Don did anything? I'm not sure. I kind of feel like he's lying about being in China because don't speak a different language. I agree. It's Ethan. It's Ethan. I'm absolutely agreeing with you. He came on far. But hey, you know what? To each his own. And there are translators. I have been talking to people around the world, though, that do absolutely speak other languages. They take an extra minute to be, but the way things are translated, it's just crazy. So, por favor, says DeSantis. And again, yeah, to Ethan's point, por favor, how do you even know who DeSantis is if you're from China? So that's kind of the interesting thing on that one. All right, so the BlackRock, por favor, you wanted to talk about that. We talked about that not too long ago. I promise I'm living in a bot farm camp. They need to feed me rice and beans. All right, yeah. We had that discussion about BlackRock, and there was a good video that I was turned on to. It's the company that owns everything, or this company that secretly owns everything. That was a good one on there, and went over all the details. It's got all the cartoons and stuff, and it brings it all in, and it just kind of really brings in on a higher level about what BlackRock does. So anyway, BlackRock probably owns a bunch of stuff in China, don't they, por favor? So anyway, but yeah, good times. Stuart, yeah, we will never regain any seeds of trust in the government again without accountability for corruption. Exactly. I think the key word in that sentence is accountability. That's it. We know people are doing something wrong, but they are not going to stop until they are actually caught or at least brought to justice. I mean, they're caught. Hell, they're caught all day. And that's the other thing. Even when they're caught, they just move them somewhere else. They just give them a job somewhere in some other part of the government. I mean, we can't have that. We can't do that. We need to see what happens. So talk about BlackRock. They own DuPont Chemical Manufacturing, a subsidiary former and defunct IG Farben, which has ties to the Havara government agreement. I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. Let's take a look at that. What's the Havara agreement? Oh, there it is, right there. Pops right up. Havara agreement was an agreement between Nazi Germany and the Zionist organization signed in 1933. The agreement was finalized after 3 months of talks by the Zionist Federation of Germany, the Anglo-Palestine Bank, and the economic authorities of Nazi Germany. It was a major factor in making possible the migration of approximately 60,000 German Jews to Palestine between 1933 and 39. Huh. See, that is how I learn stuff. That's crazy. So back to your point, por favor. They own DuPont Chemical, formal and defunct. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I don't know that. They brought the first bikini, first lingerie. Okay. The Russians brought beer commercials. All right. Well, hey, you know what? That's interesting. I'm going to look that Havara agreement up a little deeper. Good job, por favor. I appreciate that. Havara agreement. That's interesting. All right. Hey, we just hit 45 minutes. If you guys want to go, please like and subscribe. If you're joining me for the first time, I'd appreciate it. How did you know that? What, are you talking about me, Ethan? As far as, por favor, yeah. Yeah, how do you know that, por favor? From China? Eating rice and beans? How is that? Who knows Ron DeSantis? All right. I like it. Hey, Ethan, keep him honest. Yeah, good. Keep doing that. That's funny. I'm going to look that up later on, though. That is the migration. You figure, though, after the World War and before the Second World War, how everybody got around on there. That is interesting. Huh. I like it. This nation needs God. What? Well, China's got. Well, what is that? I mean, yeah, I'm saying Buddhism, but no. What is? Oh, sorry, I got sidetracked. There are other religions in China. Religions in China. What nation? America? Or yeah. All right, religions in China: Buddhism, Islam, folk religion, Taoism, and Christianity. So basically, there's 5 right there. All nations need. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you got it, Clay's Dirt. Exactly. So yeah, there's 5 different ones. Buddhism is the largest religion. I thought that. It says Islam was introduced faith. Folk religion is traditional practices. The native philosophy is Taoism. And Christianity is a growing presence. So that's interesting. There you go, Clay's Dirt. Look at that. China is a growing presence of Christianity. Then you wonder, like, when's that going to kind of stop? Because they're going to put an end to that. So that's interesting. I did not know that. There you go. There's your lesson for tonight. But yes, I agree. All nations need God for sure. No, you know, to a further degree, everybody's got to believe in something. I mean, that's kind of the thing. If you look at it, like, there's no way people can believe that there's just not something else bigger than you. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people is they absolutely forget that they're not the most important thing in the world. And there's other people out there. And that's the kind of the thing. But yeah, exactly, Ethan. I agree. I wouldn't expect that either. But yeah, so just the knowledge of knowing that, hey, there's something bigger than you are, and you're not the main character in every single story. That's what people need to understand. But yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. How did I get on this thing? Let's see. You got any Dilbert fans out there? Scott Adams died. It's too bad. I'm not a huge fan of Dilbert, but, you know, hey, it's always sad when someone dies. Hey, Stuart, with there being so many variations of who God is, I think people are just seeking some kind of moral compass again. Yeah, that's my point. That's exactly my point. I think the pendulum swung so far where everyone's like, look at me, everybody. I'm really cool. Watch everything I do because I'm important. And then now it's like, all right. I'm not that important, you know. And it was hard for me to even run this channel because it's like, well, who's going to listen to me? Who's going to pay attention? So I don't know. Thankfully, we got some kind of a following. Let's put it that way. But, you know, things happen across the board on that one. Oh, my powers on my thing is just going out. So, oops, that is not what I wanted. Try to figure that out. So, all right, guys, my battery is glowing down. I'd like to thank those that signed up, subscribers. I appreciate that. We got a few off this channel. Actually, a few. I got a decent amount off this live chat. So as we hit 50 minutes, before I shut it down, because my battery is now dying on my phone, please hit the like and subscribe. Stuart, it's always good to see you. I appreciate you jumping on here so long. God, what I mean, almost I got to take notes as far as how many people are on here like every single time I come on live. So that's cool. Ethan, thanks for subbing. Yeah, I think based on what you kind of put in the chat there and everything we talked about, I think you're going to like my stuff. So I appreciate doing that. And you're welcome anytime. Por favor, I'm still worried about you a little bit. Hopefully you can get out of your cave and your China and everything else. So Enjoy always. Appreciate it. But yeah. But anyway, yeah, we're going to hit 50 minutes. So I'm going to go and get a couple cocktails and see what happens. Maybe some brown liquor. And, but you guys, we'll be on a little bit tomorrow. And then as we go through the week, you got some stories you want to see, some videos you want to see, let me know what they are. Please go like and subscribe. You haven't already. I said that, but go to the videos, watch the videos. Even if you just drop a comment that just says, hey, hi, period, or put it on there, an emoji or something like that, let me know you were there. I would appreciate it. But guys, yeah, just keep up the good work out there. You know, keep spreading the word and keep talking and loving on your neighbor, and just always look for the truth between lines. I'll see you guys. Take care.